This is a general beginner kettlebell practice that focuses on fundamental skills building to Turkish get-up and swing. We begin with 3 reps of half Turkish get-up on non-dominant side. The half Turkish get-up steps are roll to elbow, tall sit, bridge, tall sit, elbow, and back. Some technique points to remember. Keep your kettlebell side elbow straight, your wrist straight, and your shoulder packed. Keep your arm externally rotated so that kettlebell's butt is not hanging over your face. Your supporting shoulder should be packed and away from ear. The supporting arm should be straight during the bridge and upon return to tall sit. After completing reps on one side, dismount the kettlebell safely, halo it around your head, and repeat on the other side. Remember that roll to elbow is not a sit-up. Use your planted heel to roll the hips over and engage your glutes. Exhaling while rising onto the elbow helps keep the straight leg down. Keep your heel planted in the same spot throughout the entire exercise. Push through your heel when performing the bridge. Your straight leg should remain straight throughout. For our full Turkish Get-Up online course, follow the link in the description. Dismount the kettlebell safely and stand up. Our next movement is a front rack split squat performed for 5 to 10 reps on each side. Rack the kettlebell on your non-dominant side and step back with the opposite leg. Keeping your feet in a split stance and your torso vertical, touch your knee to the ground softly 5 to 10 times. Check that both knees are bending at 90 degrees and your front knee is behind toes at the bottom of each rep. If you're not able to touch the knee to the ground, lighten your load, remove the kettlebell altogether, or address your mobility. You can also place a block under a knee and touch that instead. But the goal should be to land the knee on the ground. Your front heel should be taking most of the load and your front shin should be vertical at the bottom of the movement. Your free arm can be held out for balance or kept tucked into your chest in an imaginary rack position. Once you complete your 5 to 10 reps on each side, dismount the kettlebell safely and prepare for round 2. If you feel that you need more rest before starting the next round, pause the video. The focus should always be on practicing perfect technique. If excessive fatigue interferes with your form, you should either rest or lighten the load. And so, we begin our second round. Lock the kettlebell out on your non-dominant side. On this round, we will perform our reps together. Ready? Roll to elbow. Tall sit. Bridge. Tall sit. Elbow. Back. Again. Roll to elbow. Tall sit. Bridge. Tall sit. Elbow, back. One more time. Roll to elbow, tall sit, bridge, tall sit, elbow, back. Dismount the kettlebell safely and halo it around your head, changing to the other side. Lock the kettlebell out on your dominant side. Ready? Roll to elbow. Tall sit. Bridge. tall sit, elbow, back. Roll to elbow, tall sit, bridge, tall sit, elbow, back. One more rep. Roll to elbow, tall sit, bridge, tall sit, elbow, back. Dismount the kettlebell safely and prepare for split squats. If you have found the previous round of split squats too easy, you can try the overhead variation that I will demonstrate here. In an overhead split squat, you will extend the kettlebell loaded arm overhead. It is a much more demanding exercise. Only perform it if you have healthy shoulders and no lower back pain. Aside from having the kettlebell locked out overhead rather than in the front rack, the split squat is exactly the same. The front knee stays behind the toe, the torso is vertical, the bottom knee touches the ground with every rep. If you keep losing your balance, check that your feet are hip distance apart rather than in line. Imagine that you're standing on train tracks. If overhead split squat feels like too much at this time, keep practicing the racked squat. Build to the point of being able to complete 10 reps of racked squat on each side with a kettlebell one size heavier than your current one. Then attempt the overhead split squat again. If your goal is to be able to perform a full Turkish get-up with a challenging weight, a strong racked and eventually overhead split squat is key. Once you've completed the last rep of your split squat, dismount the kettlebell safely and prepare for deadlift practice. You will complete 5 to 10 reps of stiff-legged kettlebell deadlift every minute on the minute for 5 minutes. Keep your back straight and shoulders packed. Place the kettlebell between your heels rather than in front of your feet. If you cannot reach the ground without breaking form, for example, you're rounding your back or hunching your shoulders, elevate your kettlebell on a block. The kettlebell must touch the ground or the block with each rep. Now that we have completed our 5 to 10 reps, we will rest for the remainder of the minute and then begin our next round. I will perform the next round from the front to demonstrate the correct foot position. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Keep your feet relatively narrow. It is a common mistake to stand with feet wide apart. It is best to keep the feet as close to hip width apart as possible because that will increase power production. Also, try to keep your feet as parallel to each other as possible. Turning feet out excessively will reduce power. We have completed 2 rounds and have 3 more to go. I will demonstrate the next round from the side to highlight the differences between regular and stiff-legged deadlift. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. In a stiff-legged deadlift, as opposed to a regular deadlift, your knees bend less. You hinge more at the hips, your hips stay higher at the bottom, and your torso gets more horizontal. You will feel this deadlift variation in your upper hamstrings, and it is the best variation to load the posterior chain and to prepare you for swings in the future. We have completed 3 rounds. with 2 rounds to go. In the next round, I will demonstrate how you can increase the load in your deadlift using 2 different sized kettlebells. This is called offset loading. Regardless of how many kettlebells you're lifting, you will keep your feet as narrow as you can get away with and as parallel as possible. 3, 2, 1, go. If you're using 2 different sized kettlebells, you will aim to touch only the bigger one to the ground. At the top of the movement, the kettlebells will be resting on your thighs. It is important to keep your shoulders packed into their sockets and avoid hunching them forward in order to lower the kettlebells to the ground. At the bottom, try to touch the kettlebells to the imaginary line between your heels. This will keep your lats active, your lower back safe, and will make you better at swings. We have just completed 4 rounds. For the last round, I will use double kettlebells of the same weight. Your goal in this practice is to build to 5 sets of 10 reps with 32 kilos as a man and 24 kilos as a woman. 3, 2, 1, go. Throughout the deadlift, regardless of the size of the kettlebells you're lifting, remember to keep your core braced, as if preparing for a karate chop into the gut. This will not only ensure that your lower back is safe, but will also transfer power from your legs to your upper body for a successful lift every time. We have now completed 5 rounds of deadlifts. We will remove the kettlebells and prepare for floor exercises that address our core strength and stability. If you have pre-existing lower back condition, do not perform the next series of exercises without consulting your physiotherapist. Lie down on the stomach. We will perform 30 seconds of Superman holds. 3, 2, 1, go. Raise your arms and legs up in the air, trying to keep your elbows and knees straight. Squeeze your glutes, point your toes, and try to bring your arms to the level of your ears. Ten seconds to go. Remember to squeeze your glutes. 3, 2, 1, rest. We are resting for 15 seconds. Next is 30 seconds of high plank. High plank is performed with your arms straight and your hands under your shoulders. 3, 2, 1, go. In this plank, try to tuck your pelvis under, squeeze your glutes, brace your abdominals, and tense your quads by straightening your knees as much as possible. If your wrists are bothering you, you can get down on your elbows. However, this plank is best performed on the hands because we want to train and strengthen the triceps. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. We will rest for the next 15 seconds and repeat the Superman for 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. The Superman is a very important exercise for health and posture. It is otherwise called global extension, and it strengthens your posterior chain. If at first you are struggling to lift your arms and legs off the ground, do not worry. Keep practicing and you will improve. The benefits of this exercise are enormous. 3, 2, 1, rest. We rest for 15 seconds and then complete 30 seconds of high plank. This will be our last exercise. 3, 2, 1, go. It is a common error to pike at the hips during plank, which renders the exercise virtually useless. To make the most of this exercise, make sure that your body is forming a straight line from head to heels, and squeeze your glutes for the duration of the plank. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, rest. This is the end of our beginner kettlebell practice. Finish the session by resting the back in an extended position. It is important for spinal health and longevity that our back cools down in a neutral or extended position. Avoid sitting hunched over with a flexed back immediately following a training session, as this can damage your lumbar spine. You can perform this kettlebell fundamentals practice as a standalone training session 3 times a week, or you can add this to your existing program. For individual, group, and online instruction, visit www.kettlebellacademy.co.nz. If you have any questions, please post them below. If you like this video and would like to see more, please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your kettlebell training. See you next time.